Oh yeah, so your 5-year goal.
Or just even, where do I see myself, right?
Oh no, you said, I want to have a successful personal brand. What does success mean? And the terms I defined it with is, everyone says I want to be successful. Who doesn't want to be successful?
Right.
But where a lot of people go wrong is they don't even have a parameter on what success means.
Yeah.
Like I said, some people's success is $100,000 a year. Some people's success is $5 million a year. Some people's success is having a happy family. And all of it's great.
Right.
But you need to understand parameters, because you don't even know where you're walking if you don't. You know what I mean? So what is success? What is it? Is it a certain amount of followers? Is it a certain amount of lives changed? You know, what does success mean to you?
I think just having more freedom, making that my full-time ability, to do things that I love to do. Like, if I can make content around sports cars or traveling the world, or vlogging kind of what I'm doing my day-to-day.
Yeah.
I think that would be considered be successful.
Okay, so successful social media accounts. So this is also going to go into the career. If that's going in your face, blow up.
Blow up?
Because it won't get in your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your goal. Okay, now we need... This isn't the best way, I think. Like, when I started one of my most successful online businesses, I was talking with one of my buddies who lives in Dubai now, that I just met at the gym. That's why the power of social media is so powerful, because he found me online. When you're online, you're going to get haters. People are like, oh, whatever, this, that. I saw a kid, and I never check my comments. I literally don't care, but I saw a kid defending me in the comments. It's like, you guys are losers. You're just haters. Like, And then I bump into him at the gym.
No.
And I didn't clock it at first, but he's like, oh, what's up, dude? Like, how you doing? I followed you or something. And then I was like, oh, like, thanks, dude. And then I'm like, wait, you were that guy. Like, I recognize the profile picture. And so we get to talking. He's like a really successful entrepreneur as well. And he's super smart. And he's the reason why I actually started one of my businesses. He just gave me the idea. I'm like, nah, I don't know if that will work. And then once I had the moment where I'm like, okay, this is going to work, let's execute yesterday, like I said. So now that we have the goal, like, okay, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Let's rewind, right? If you want to get to the top of the mountain, most people get so fixated. Like, let's say you want a Ferrari, that's your top of the mountain.
Right.
Because the top of the mountain can be anything. Yeah. Most people stare up at the top of the mountain and they never bother looking down. And what ends up happening is they start to trip over the log in front of them, right? They start to walk up the mountain and they don't see where they're going. And inevitably, they're just going to keep rolling back because they keep falling. Yeah. So you set your goal. Now we know where we want to go. On a pragmatic level, what steps can we take to get there? Literally, it's one foot in front of the other. So you want to get to where you're starting a personal brand.
Yeah.
You know where your goal is. We set the parameters.
Yeah.
What's the pragmatic step for you to do today, or let's say tomorrow? Because you're asked, like, where should I go? I'm lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like almost like I'm seeking, like I'm searching, and
it's very easy to find. And it's super awesome, and it's super optimistic, and it's idealistic, meaning that everyone would want to do that. Who wouldn't want to be their own boss and travel the world and do what they want to do? But we need to understand, why do people follow the Alex Ramosys? Because he's been through the ringer to get the knowledge he has. Like, most people want the skills, but they don't want to go through the time it's going to take to develop the skills.
Right.
So people are going to listen to you, and they're going to be motivated by you because they respect what you've done and they respect who you are. So I'm saying to pick one between your passions and making money. It's going to be hard to do both. It's going to be hard to start a personal brand if you're not someone worthy of having a brand. There's spin-offs like Neon, or like that big jacked guy. Like, there's, you know what I mean? There's 100%. People like that, but that's why it's super important to define where you want to go. Because if not, you're a feather in the wind. Like at the beginning of Forrest Gump, I don't know if
I've seen that movie. Yeah,
at the beginning of the movie, there is a feather that's blowing in the wind, and the moral of the story is that Forrest was that feather. And some people might want to live the Forrest Gump life, the kind of hippie style life where, I'm running, and then I'm in the military, and then I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But me personally, I don't want to be a feather in the wind.
No, I don't either.
Because what does that mean? That means life is going to take me wherever it's going to take me. And if I'm not happy with the destination, I'm really lost, right? So if you don't have a goal or a parameter, you're simply walking aimlessly. You're never going to get there.
Right.
So
you would say the first step right now is setting an idealistic goal of where I am right now.
No, I think setting a pragmatic goal, not an idealistic goal, meaning that practically. So right now, set a pretty moderate. Like, I like setting I'm not huge on goals. I'm huge on objectives for input, meaning that I know where I want to go. I know I want to make $100,000 a month, or whatever that is for you. You set the number.
Yeah.
A lot of people fixate on the goal though. So So if you know you need to get to 50 grand a month online and you know the general idea of how you're going to get there, now just focus on what can I do in my day-to-day life. Okay, let me ask you this. This is a huge question. How does your day-to-day life point you or lead you towards where you want to go? It doesn't seem like it does at all.
It doesn't.
So why are you doing it? So many people are in college because of the stigma. That's why I asked, why are you going to business school online for $4 grand a semester? What is that doing? What does it do? Like
a safety net, I would say.
What does a safety net mean?
I don't like.
See, I don't even know.
No,
See,
yeah.
There should never be a point in your life where, and I'm not saying this at you at all. I just get passionate when I talk.
No, please.
There should never be a point in your life where you have an objective and you don't even know why you're going there. When people say you're a slave or you're in the rat race, people that are in the rat race don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. They're just doing it. So you need to look at your life and say, why am I doing this?
Why? Yeah.
You'll start to take it to an extreme, and it's actually a really unhealthy level where I did, where it's like, why am I hanging out with this person?
No, I'm on the same page as you. I'd rather isolate myself and kind of figure it, because I don't really validate their opinions. I don't know if that sounds narcissistic at all, but it's like
not validate, but you don't value.
Value. It's like, what do you have?
Dude, my bad.
No, you're good.
You talking, I hear you.
Doesn't it affect your social cues or life a little bit? Or?
But I didn't care. I didn't care about my social life or my social cues. I just wanted to win. Now I'm at the point where I can look retrospectively and say, I don't just want to win. I don't just want what I thought I wanted, because it's actually really hard to quantify. So we know we want to live this free lifestyle. I know the lifestyle you want. Most young men want it. I want fast cars, beautiful women. I want to be able to do what I want when I want.
Sure.
But there is this never-ending black hole of, and I know everyone says this, money doesn't buy happiness, but the goalpost always moves farther. So if you're not in love with the drive, you're going to kill yourself.
The thing is, I'm pretty excited of where I'm going to right now, like where my life is heading right now, because I took the risk of not going to school. Like I took a...
You're going to school.
That's because that's after 2 years of not going to school. A year and a half. Like I'm just starting school now.
So we can only work with what we have. We can only work in the now.
Right.
It's very easy to speak in hindsight. Like let's say you started a random online business and you made $100 million and you sold it. And now you're rich. Okay. We could look back then and say, okay, my business school did nothing to this, right?
Sure.
So it's easy to speak in hindsight.
Sure.
But we need to work with what we have. So we know where you want to go, and you told me your goal, but you can work with what you have. And my point, this is what I wanted to say a second ago. So I said this exact same thing to Kanan. Shout out Kanan if you end up seeing this, but he is in college and he doesn't really know why. He likes the community and he gets to network with people and talk with people, but it doesn't ultimately lead to his inevitable goal. And what I said a second ago about hindsight, where once you've made it, you can see, oh, college didn't help me, or college did help me. We only could work with the now. Okay. Does college truly help you get to where you want to go? Like, does you wasting your time and paying? Because I'm a big advocate of not going to college because I don't really believe in it unless it directly correlates to your success.
As in for right now, I haven't seen any return with it. Maybe because I just started, maybe. But the thing is, it's like, I don't...
You play chess.
I do.
You know when you play chess, I go e4, e5, and I know when he goes knight c5. You need to think ahead and think, what does this move inevitably do, not for my position, but for his as well?
Yeah.
So we're chess players, so we think ahead.
Yeah.
Looking at going to college, how does this impact where you want to go now? Because every young man, Enzo, loves to say, I want the Ferrari and I want to drive around tracks and I'm going to sell my company for $100 million, and everyone can talk big. But when it comes to the right now, how does this change your life? Because that's all that's important, is how does this decision actually move me forward? How does it move the needle? If this is success, this is me making it. I'm here right now. I'm at zero. How do I move the needle just a little bit? And for a lot of people, I call it mental masturbation. They like to do things that make it feels like they're moving the needle, but it doesn't actually move the needle.
Yeah.
So my biggest lesson that I teach my students and that I teach people is speed. Speed is absolutely necessary when it comes to business. People think it takes 5 years to get rich, or it takes all this time. You could literally start a business. You can make money. When I had the idea to do my online subscription business, I had the idea with Ojis, that kid that went to Dubai. I had that idea at 7 p.m. at the gym. We stayed from like 5 to 8 talking. So at 7 p.m., I got home at 10. The next day, so I built everything throughout the night. The next day, I collected $3,000 without having a product made. It was a pre-sale, a Pioneer film.
Oh, you pre-sale. Oh, yeah.
So I pre-sold. So the biggest component of that is speed. Most people would say, okay, I need to think the idea. Let me hire an engineer to build out the product. Let me get a product launch. I'm going to do a soft launch on my Instagram, and then I'm going to start running ads here. 3 weeks has gone by. All you've done is spent $5,000. So what I'm saying to you is our biggest component in business is speed. How does college work in any way with you getting to where you want to go? If you know your personal, like your mentor said, whoever this guy is, he says, start now. What can you do? So many people are like, well, I can't. I'm in my hometown. All right. Like so many people say this. Okay. Everyone understands fitness for some reason. It's very easy to comprehend. If there's a big fat guy and he's like, oh, I can't lose weight. I just work too much. And I have to eat out because I'm in your head, in the back of your head, you're thinking you just don't want to. You can start. There's always something you can do. You can stay up later. You can meal prep earlier. It's going to be cheaper anyway. It'll save. There's always something you can do.
Right.
So why, if you want to get this personal brand going, if you look, when I started my personal brand, when I started my thing, if you go to my original TikTok, so garbage. Like this podcast right now, what did I just say? Oh, we should just film this. Maybe I can get clips out of it. It happened. Now it's going. This is going to be on. This is going to make me money. This is probably going to make me a few $1,000s. This right now, this decision I just made. You know the old adage, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
Yeah.
So many people sit in this analysis paralysis where I'm just going to think about it and then eventually it'll come to me and I'll have that moment. There's never a good moment to start. Like they say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago and the second best time is right now. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? So it's like, well, I don't know where I'm going to start. You know, I need to think about it. You know, that I'll have that aha moment. That aha moment never comes. Jeff Bezos didn't go, well, let me wait till I get the office or let me wait till I do this before I start Amazon. He started in an apartment. He's the richest man on planet Earth right now, or second or whatever. So the message is start. Just, you might get lucky. All the lucky bounces I had in life, I've had some luck. Definitely I've had some luck where it's like, how did this even work? I truly believe God looks down. This isn't biblical. This is actually heretical.
Sure.
This isn't from the Bible, but this is a personal thing. I believe God looks down, and if you're working hard and you're living by him, he rewards you and he smiles upon you. So all my lucky bounces where I'm like, what? This really just worked? Is because I showed up. You don't even know why. Like maybe there's times where I'll like, I don't want to work right now, dude. I've worked all day. I've done all this stuff, but I'm going to go grind for like 2 hours. And maybe because I grinded and I stayed up longer, it inevitably led to me waking up a little later, which had me leave the house later. So I bumped into that person. Like you don't know how it happens, but people that stay stagnant, you're never going to move the boat. You need to start pushing. So there's no wrong move when you have zero. You have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, yeah.
You have literally nothing to lose. The only thing you have to lose is the judgment of others.
Which at that point doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. The judgment of others you don't even care about. You know what I respect about Kanan? I'm talking about you again. Kanan just does it. And he says he struggled with it, but I really respect him for it. He doesn't even, I've talked to him, he's like, yeah, a lot of times I post content, it's like I just got it out because I had to get it out. But he does it. And he was worried about the opinions of others, and he just continues to do it. So there's a lot of talk. A lot of people have the ambition and they have the idea of this is where I want to be, but they never put it into practice. I love saying this I say it to almost all my calls I take. I say, Elon Musk himself. Imagine Elon Musk called you. Oh, what's up, Enzo? I have $1 million business idea. You're going to be rich in 30 days. This is exactly what you're going to do, and I'm going to fund it. He tells you everything. He lays it out. You guys talk for 10 hours. You're like, yeah, you're taking notes. You're writing it down. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a millionaire in 30 days. If that knowledge stays in your head and you never apply what he's telling you, you're going to stay in the exact same spot. So the moral of the story is knowledge is useless if it's not coupled with action. So a lot of people want to watch YouTube videos. They want to go through the college. They want to do this stuff, but they're never going to apply it. And then they're like, why is my life suck? Why am I staying in the same spot? I would argue, and I think this is a saying, like the brave person is going to get farther than the smarter person.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm willing to take the risk, so I'm going to succeed, rather than the smarter person is going to think about every little thing that needs to happen. He's never even going to take the shot, because by the time he took the shot, the braver person already took it 10 times and he got lucky once.
Right.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
Very interesting. Makes a lot of sense.
So what are you going to do? I guarantee you can just walk up. If you walked up to enough people, I think it's Alex Ramosi who says this actually. He's like, do enough reps that it's unreasonable that you don't succeed. Like, it's such a simple saying, but it's so true.
Yeah, volume negates luck.
Sure. That's probably
That's what he said. Yeah, it was like the more times you do things, more volume, X, you will win, or like you will get to that point.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
So if you have this, okay, we set the goal. This is where
the goal. Okay,
this is where I like to get practical.
This is good. Yeah.
You know what I hate? But we would talk like this. Oh, let's do this, and this is why we ended up kind of growing apart. Is because I outgrew them. Because imagine me and you are both just broke. We're both living out. I was living with my mom in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we would talk. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to escape. I want to do all these things. And they're like, yeah, dude, I want to do this. I want to do this too. And then eventually, I start to do it. And they kind of just keep talking about it, and then they start to look at you wrong, like you're like better than them in a way because you're doing it. So that's what I hated about it. So let's get practical. This is where I get excited about business.
No, I'm actually really fucking excited right now.
So this is where I get juiced about business. Okay, you want to make $5,000 a month?
$5,000 a month. Okay, that's $500 a day. Which
for 10 days. That's not even 10 days. No,
that's.
Don't even look at it by the day because I know how your brain's going to go and it's like, oh, I didn't make the money today. So, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So don't even look. Okay, we're not even going to say May. May's going to be prep, but we're also going to use this as a little boost. So whatever you make in May is going to boost you in June.
Okay. I like this. Okay.
For 30 days in June, if you had to make $5,000 or I die, would you let me down?
Dude, I would make more.
100%.
I would make more.
How are we going to do it?
Right.
How are we going to do it?
We have to think about what I have right now.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. Right. Like when I wanted to make money, I could not do this. How you're thinking right now, this is how I just existed. This was my state of being. And I wasn't depressed. I was focused.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of times where I wake up and I have work I know I need to get done, and I sit here like this.
Yeah.
It's not easy. A lot of people are like, oh, this is hard. Let me just like do whatever. The fact that it's hard is beautiful. The fact that it's hard is the reason that everyone wants it.
Yeah.
So this shouldn't be difficult right now. I think we need to understand what money is so we can know how to make it. Because a lot of people think I need to make money. I need to make $5,000. Notice we kept saying that. Even I say it and I understand what money is. You cannot make money. It is literally impossible to generate money. The Fed. Oh shoot, the wind. It's all good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Which is that thing? The Federal Reserve makes money. They print it out of thin air.
So creating value to the marketplace.
For you to make money, you have to take it from someone else. And if you don't convince them to give it to you, you stole it from them. Even the way I said that, take money from someone else, had a negative connotation.
Yeah.
But that's truly what money is. Think about the money we spent today. You went and got food. How did Whole Foods convince us to give us their money? We were hungry, so there was value or there was scarcity. We wanted food, and they provided a good service. They're already established, so I don't look at big chains like that and apply it to myself.
Right.
Why would let's say I'm your first customer, why would I want to give Enzo money? How can you take my money? Because money is always moving. This is something else people don't understand.
Yeah.
Money, let's say it started with me on the Federal Reserve, and now I give Enzo $100, and now Enzo goes buys $50 worth of groceries, he puts $20 in his gas tank, and he gives $30 to his barber. Now the barber takes that $30, and then he goes buys food, and then the food puts it in the bank, and then the bank loans it to someone else. So it's always in transit.
Yeah.
The way you can get money, I love the saying that money is like water. It's always flowing. Water doesn't stay stagnant. It gets sucked up into the cloud, and then it precipitates down onto something else, and then someone collects that and drinks it, and it's always moving. How can you get wet? How can I position myself that water is going to hit me? So how can I position myself in the way of money? The easiest way for you to do it right now when you have absolutely nothing, essentially, that's no insult to you. Nobody really has anything in the beginning. I don't really have anything, honestly. I just have knowledge that I've gathered through experience that people want to pay for. But the best way you can position yourself now is to see where money is already flowing, to see where it's raining and go drive there. Say, oh, it's raining up in Tahoe, let's go. I can get wet there. So where is money already moving in your life that you can infiltrate or provide value to someone that's already in there? A lot of places that it's rainy, people put gates around it and say you can't come in. So you need to convince someone, say, no, you want me in here because I'm going to bring you more value than you keeping me outside. So where's money already moving in your life? How can you get in the way of it? Let me think pragmatically for you. I was Enzo and I had to make money, I'm thinking off the top of my head.
Wait, are we doing... Are we
There's
thinking
no rules.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, are we doing right now plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
No, right now. We need to make $5,000 next month so you can move out.
Yeah.
Not 10 years. I just set your 10-year plan to know where you want to be. I talked to a lot of people. What's your 10-year plan? I just want a family. I just want to have a mortgage where I can provide for my kids, and I want them to grow up good. I want to be a good dad. Great. I love that for them.
Yeah.
But I need to know where you want to go so we can get you there.
Yeah.
So we know where you want to go.
Yeah.
You can't,
I already know what lifestyle, what things, what everything.
You know the directions.
Direction,
Stop focusing on that as well.
Because it's not...
What happens when you focus on the top of the mountain? You trip into logs in front of you.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah.
So forget that. Just let it motivate you, but don't even think about it. So pragmatically, if I'm Enzo and I need to make money, I'm thinking literally off the top of my head, I can walk up to Joe and say, Joe, I need money. That probably isn't going to work. He's probably not just going to hand you money, but that's step one. I just thought of something. Okay, you can hand me money.
Right.
So why wouldn't Joe hand you money? Because you're not bringing any value to Joe. Typically, it's not good to work with the people you know closely because money corrupts, and a lot of people don't know how to facilitate money because it is a tool you need to know how to facilitate. So we want to go to strangers and we want to convince them that the money you have in your pocket is better off in my bank account. How am I going to do that? So what value can I bring to someone? I don't know you well enough to know your skill sets or know why someone would want to pay you. Like there's little things like my $10 phone calls I don't even think about. Like people just book them all the time and it pays me and I don't even think about it, but it was something that I positioned myself that people want to talk to me and I have value to give them and they're willing to pay for it. There was times where I was charging $1,000 phone calls for like an hour to just have just have a conversation. So I saw an opportunity. People want to hear what I have to say, so I'm going to put money in front of it. Okay. So what does someone want? Someone might not want anything you have, and you might need to go to a physical thing that you can provide someone. Because I feel like you're thinking a lot of me.
Yeah.
For sure. But you're skipping a step. You're thinking to the how. It's like, why did we buy food at the store when I could have just made it at home? You know what I mean?
Right.
Why are you going to college if you could learn it on YouTube? You definitely can learn what you learned on YouTube. What you're learning in college.
Definitely could.
So don't go to the how. Just think of the what. What can I give? Don't worry about the how. We can figure that out.
Give?
What can I supply? It might be a physical thing.
I can give my time to people.
And why would I want your time? Like a lot of people say, Brad, I'll work for you for free. And I say, your price is too high. That's too expensive.
For free?
Yeah, it's too expensive. I don't need your time. Your time isn't valuable to me. Your time can't do anything.
So you have to create that value.
You have to create value.
So one thing that I'm already talking to manufacturers already.
So what happened?
I just haven't.
Okay. Can I give you an unsolicited business lesson?
Please.
This is huge for any young entrepreneur. Most people, I'm going to think of an analogy or think of a scenario. Most people want to sell t-shirts, let's say. So they want to sell t-shirts. And their first thought, like what you just said, is I have a manufacturer and I have the blueprints built out. So I'm moving the needle forward. I'm making progress, which you are in a way. But what did I say about my biggest business philosophy is speed. Speed trumps everything else. How would I sell t-shirts compared to the majority of almost everyone? How I would sell t-shirts is say, people need to buy this for me to make money.
Yeah.
Someone needs to hand me money. The t-shirt means nothing. Let's use a sandwich shop. Because I love using sandwich shops because they're easy to understand. I can have the best sandwich in the world. And I could have gone to France and got the bread and I have the best sandwich. But if nobody's coming in the front door, I don't have a sandwich shop. Starting a business isn't spending money, or it isn't all the mental legwork. That's mental masturbation. It's money coming in the front door. So your idea or your slideshow or whatever means nothing until you have the transaction. So how would I sell t-shirts compared to the normal person? What would the normal person do? Okay, I have this really cool t-shirt and most people are going to like it because it's trendy. So let me build out a blueprint to how I'm going to launch it. Let me find a manufacturer who's going to make it. I'll spend some money on advertising I'll do all these things. Okay, so now I've bought the product and now I have it. I've spent $5,000. I've wasted 3 months to do all this stuff. Now let's start. What happens when my business fails? Because it probably will because you're a new entrepreneur. Now I'm out 3 months and $5,000. How would I sell t-shirts? I have the concept. I have the idea. I'm going to do a pre-sale of some sort. I'm going to find an influencer, someone. Maybe you can pay them, or if you're persuasive enough, you can just incentivize them that when this does sell, you sell them the dream, you sell them the vacation, you don't sell them the plane ride. You say, when this sells, you're going to get 50% of sales. I have this proof of concept. I know you're the type of person for it. I believe in you. If you can get this out to the masses, we're going to make money. but you need to trust in me. So I have this idea. So I'm going to this influencer. He has 100,000 followers. He's not too big. I'm going to say, we're going to launch this. We don't even have the product made. We just have the idea. So AI, the internet is so powerful. We're going to make the proof of concept. This is the t-shirt. Everyone needs it. We launch. Boom. We start collecting money. Oh my gosh, I got a sale. I made $20. The next person comes, $20. Oh my gosh, I'm selling these scenes $20. I made like $5K today. Okay, but I don't have the product. How am I going to fulfill this to the person? Am I ripping people off? Am I scamming people? No, I don't want to scam people. So we send out a mass email blast. Hey, this is selling better than we ever expected. I don't have enough supply to fulfill all my orders. There's going to be a 3-week back order. I could either refund you now, or I could throw in a free sticker with it if you want to wait for 3 weeks. Hold on. I could throw in a free sticker if you want to wait 3 weeks. So what do we do now? We've collected cash. We took a loan.
And data.
And now we have data, proof of concept that it works.
Yeah.
Now we're going to supply. So now finding a supplier, you can do like that. Okay, now I found my supplier. It took 1 day of calling nonstop for 8 hours. Okay, I found my supplier. Let's get it shipped. Let's get it manufactured. Here's your down payment. Let's get the product out. And now it's sold in 3 weeks. Now I've collected money. I started a business from scratch. If it all failed, because what happens if the influencer sold none? I wasted 1 phone call in 2 hours, opposed to $5,000 in 3 months. I gotta